Welcome back to Cuban with a Twist. Today we're making a special sopa de langosta. Translation is lobster soup. We're going to do it in a broth base. No heavy creams. I'm lactose intolerant, so we're going to try it this way. I've started boiling a pot of water. The only thing I'm going to add to that right now is a couple of bay leaves, dry bay leaves. We're going to throw that in there. We're going to let it boil and get going. Now we're going to put our things together. We've got some tomatoes, some green peppers, and some red peppers. I'm going to broil these in the oven. I want them to get nice and soft, so we're going to put a little bit of sea salt on here. This is the sea salt with the truffle. Fantastic. A little pepper. It's all covered nicely. And then we're just going to place that in the oven for about 15 minutes or so. I put mine at convection bake at about 400. Okay? Then we're going to chop up some of these red potatoes and put them to boil. These have already been rinsed, and you want to cut them up to about maybe a little over an inch. Okay? Slice them up in fours, basically. Some are small, and you can just cut them in two. I like to try different things. We've done a few different recipes so far. Lobster is a great fish. It's not really a fish, it's a crustacean. But what we do is every once in a while at your local market you'll see that they'll go on sale. And that's really the best time to do one of these dishes. So we picked some up at our local fresh market that had these on sale for $6 a tail, which was just a great deal. I've also earlier put a butternut squash into the oven and I roasted it, and that's what I've got wrapped up here. And as soon as we put these potatoes into the pot, we're going to bring this out and slice it up. That's going to give us a little bit of a cream base that we would get using a heavy cream or a dairy product. So let's put these in the pot. Perfect. And we'll slice up a sweet onion. We're going to chop up the sweet onion in fours. And then I'm just going to throw it in like that. I don't need to chop it up. I want it to get loosened up in the boiling water. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and bring out that butternut squash that we talked about earlier. I roasted it in the oven for about 15 minutes or so. It's nice and dark. I'm going to take the tips off and the skin. Slice it in half. There we go. So I'm going to take a spoon. I'm going to spoon out all of the seeds that are in there, because really all I want is the yellow stuff. And this, we're going to use this as our cream base. I'm just going to loosen it up. And then when I'm ready, we're going to put a little olive oil with the fresh garlic, and we're going to saute it. We're going to add a little white wine to that. So we'll see you in just a few minutes. All right, we're back. I've got the pan ready to saute, so we're going to add I put a little bit of olive oil in there. I put 3 cloves of garlic. I'm just going to let that cook. All right, don't have it too high because you don't want the garlic to cook too much. It'll overcook and it won't taste good. Nice wood spoon. Put it on simmer, nice and low. Okay, to this I'm going to add the butternut squash that I took out of the I'm going to add some fresh basil, which I'm going to chop up. let that saute for a little bit. And then we're going to pull out the peppers and the tomatoes that we were roasting, and we're going to add it to that mixture too. Yep, see, great color. Pull that right out. Fantastic. I'll let that cool down for a minute or two, and then we'll go ahead and add it to our saute. We're back. We pulled everything out of the oven. I'm just going to chop these up in large pieces because what we're going to do is after they saute with the butternut squash, we're going to blend it all together before we add it to the soup. Okay, so it's just big pieces. See how it's kind of like the tomatoes have become basically mush, but everything else has got great color and definitely fantastic smell, wonderful aroma. Okay, so let's add this now to our pot. I've added half a stick of butter, and that's real butter. This one's salted. We're going to add this to our pot. And then we're going to just let it saute for about 10-15 minutes. Try to get all of those juices in there because that's what makes the difference. Fantastic. Set this aside. You can raise the temperature up a little bit. Just mix around. Even if you wanted to do this by itself, you could actually probably take a whole green pepper and do almost like a stuffing, a stuffed pepper, but stuff it actually with a vegetarian with maybe some beans, some butternut squash, a mixture like this. That would probably be a really nice dinner. Okay, so it's just starting to saute a little bit now. Turn off the oven. And we're going to give this, like I said, about 10 minutes or so, and we'll be right back. We're going to throw the lobster tails into the soup. It's going to stay there for about 10-15 minutes or so, okay? And then we'll pull them out, take out the lobster, leave the shell inside the soup so it can get a great, nice flavor, and put them two together, and then we'll show you the end product. All right, we're back. I took one of the lobster tails out. I've taken the side shell off and I've placed that back into the boiling water because I really wanted to get a nice stock. Okay? I'm going to take this out, separate it, and I'm going to place this into the butternut squash mix. Nice. Trying to keep it nice, intact, without damaging it too much. Okay, there we go. And again, reuse the shell. The shell's got the flavor. I'm going to put that back in there. Take this off. Clean it up nicely. That's perfect. I'll pull the other one out. Taking a little bit of the sauce that's been cooking here, which is the peppers and the butternut squash. I'm going to put this on simmer. And you can see I've left some of the larger pieces in there just because I want that rustic look. Okay? But I've transferred most of it into this dish. I've added some of the stock into it, and we're just going to puree it a little bit. Just so it has just a little bit of a smoother taste. It combines all the flavors together. So this will just be a minute. Put it all together in here. And that's all I want. I don't want to lose the color. I don't want to lose the texture. I just want it to blend a little bit better. Okay? Take that off. Re-add it to the saute pan. Stirring it in. Put this aside. And then I'm just going to let this simmer probably for about another 20 minutes or so, and we'll be ready to serve. So we'll see you then. As the process has been going on with the soup, I've been adding fish stock. Okay? Just add a little bit, stir. Gently. And I've got it to about a low simmer, which is really where I want it. But the next process is the lobster. Okay, I'm going to use it as a topper in the soup. I'm not going to just boil it in the soup because then it'll overcook. So I've got my pan out, I've got my broil on in my oven. I'm going to take the 4 pieces of the lobster that we used, and we were able to take out of the shell. I'm going to drizzle it with olive oil. A little more salt. Just a tad. Tiny bit of pepper. And we're going to broil it with a little bit of lemon on top, just for about 5 minutes or so, and then we'll be ready to plate. Welcome back. It's served. Everything smells fantastic. The aroma, the lobster in there. I topped it off with a little bit of sweet curry. Okay? I want to thank you so much for watching our videos. We'd like you to please follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and watch us on Syndicated News. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Mom!